Cut. What up? What to do? It's your boy JDQ with the crew of Visioneyeview. All right. So on one hand, I got my main man, co-host of the show, Geeko, on the side, right over here.
It's me, Tubular Killer.
And on the other hand, you can't see him, but you certainly can't deny him. All right. It's Third Born Media, Jay, the producer, on the controllers, on the sounds, visuals, backgrounds, all that crazy stuff.
On the ones and twos.
Damn right he is. Damn right.
Yeah.
Alright, so fellas, real quick, the times are changing, right? We're entering this new era.
What, man?
I don't
Tell
know.
me all about it.
It's crazy, alright? It's crazy, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you exactly why, alright? So, are any of you two into like coins and all that good stuff?
No, man. Except for crypto coins, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say like, but aside from crypto, but none of y'all like ever like looked at the coins or whatever.
No.
Alright.
No.
Bet. So I am a fellow somewhat coin collector, right? And in these changing times, I just noticed something a few days ago.
Okay.
I was helping my mom's out get some change for her trip this weekend, right? And I'm going through the change with her. I'm looking at the faces, and I'm dividing the dimes, quarters, nickels, all that crap, right?
Right.
And out of nowhere, like a freak of nature, right, as luck would have it, I'm going through the quarters, and lo and behold, like Toho Soho, Super Flow,
Yeah.
I seen this one coin
Dog.
with the Pepe song. I seen a coin that looked like really different. And the only reason I can say that from the jump is because I've already got so many coins memorized from all the coin collecting I've done over the past 4 years, right? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, hold up, who the hell is this? And lo and behold, it's the quarter of this year. And the reason why I'm freaking out and acting all excited, like a little boy in the women's bathroom, is because I noticed instantaneously that they just changed the position of George Washington's face on this year's quarter.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, they did. Pull up. That's the one from what? The first one you showed. What was that from? 1990? No, 1941. Okay.
41.
I think
That's the first one?
I think that's the first one from when they did the transition of whoever's face was on the quarter or whatever, right?
Time out. Hold up. So if
Go
I have
ahead,
a 19, so if I find a 1941 quarter, is that worth anything?
It depends. Is it in good condition? Has it been scratched? Has it been graded? Has it been already sold prior to you trying to sell it forward? These are all things to consider.
Okay.
So if somebody sells it, it loses its value?
Yes.
How does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Most people buy things because they think it's going to go up in value.
Yeah.
that is correct. However, with coins, up until like I want to say like about a year ago, I was like still somewhat like buying and collecting them or whatever directly from the mint. I was looking at different coin options, right? And I started comparing prices on average, like how much they went for like last year, the year before, or whatever. And I happened to notice, that every time the same coin was like sold forward, they would try to lowball the other person.
Right?
So it's not because it loses value per se.
Sounds like crypto, man.
Yeah, something like that.
If it changed right here, man.
But that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make, going back to the original topic at hand here,
Right?
is like I said in the intro, we're entering changing times, right? We're entering these troubling and trialing times, right? The finances and the economy and the actual fiat that we're using, you can even tell the difference on the face. So, in my opinion, now this is not to be taken as the law.
Gospel?
This is not to be taken as gospel. Like, I'm not an expert on this matter. This is my personal opinion based off what I've seen and read up until now. Okay. However, it's a crazy coincidence that almost, and I repeat that because I need to make it clear, almost every time something drastically changes on the currency, along with it, something historical changes too. Like, it's like a huge momentum historical shift along with the currency design change. So I don't know if you can look up the Indian penny from, I think the first one was I think 19, no, not 18 something,
The
1840
first
something.
penny was when?
The first Indian penny.
First Indian penny.
Yeah, the first Indian penny was back in from like the 1800s somewhere, right?
Who was using that?
The cowboys, people from that era, people using gold and silver to
Do
trade
you know
and
who
all that.
created the Indian penny? Was it the government? Like,
Yeah,
was it the Indians?
you can
They
tell
have the technology on
it
this.
says United States of America on it. You can already tell right off the bat the government made
So
it.
the United States created.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's the first one that came out as far as like, you know, like 1800, right? As you can tell, my brothers,
Mm-hmm.
that man looking to his right, which would be our left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, brother man Jay, can you fast forward and show the Lincoln penny from 1909, the first time Lincoln was introduced to the currency on a 1 cent penny?
1909.
Now check that out. Check that out. Right off the bat, what position is Lincoln's face facing now? His left hand side, which would be our right hand side, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now then, that being said, what happened when Abraham Lincoln became president of the United States? What big major event historically happened when he became president? Go ahead.
The Civil War.
The Civil War. Okay, Eagle.
Supposedly, a new transition from slavery to workmanship.
Okay, okay. Beautiful, beautifully
Because I
said.
think people like misconstrued the slavery. There's white people who were slaves. There were Hispanic people. So there were Asian people.
Right, right.
So it's like, I think mankind was just enslaved up until.
Okay.
I could see kingdoms shifting throughout time, and not only fighting for resources, but saying, wait a minute, if they educate themselves, then they're gonna be like us.
Right, right, right.
Type of thing.
Right. And they wanted that control up until that point. And I don't know what would like motivate them to think otherwise, you know, from Lincoln's period forward, but it happened for whatever reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the powers that be, right? But you know,
Oh, you know, right now there's a shift in power going on now behind the scenes too, because after what's this guy's name? John F. Kennedy got assassinated.
okay,
Those people came into power.
okay,
The ones in the background,
Mhm.
they've been in power ever since JFK's been in power. These men are now old and they're losing the grip of the power. I think ever since Trump came into power, and even a little bit before then, they already started losing power. But now it's more self-evident that the power shifting to the younger people that are coming behind. You know, these 90, 80, 70-year-old men
Mhm.
that have wealth, that have power and
Right, right,
different, you know, powers of principality. So now you have the younger people
Mhm.
who are you know being established as time goes on. Now they're coming into power. There's a shift in power going on beneath our nose. To be honest.
That's a very, very good point to
So
bring
maybe
up.
that's why the coin. Because you think about Washington, what are you watching? What are you watching?
Yeah.
You know, what tone are you watching?
Mhm.
You ever hear the term "the tone in Washington"?
Yeah. You're right. You're right about that. I completely forgot about that phrase. But you're right. Oh, and let me just say this before we proceed here. Right. There's been known changes of design on the backs of these coins throughout the years. Okay.
Yep.
Like for example, the Lincoln penny for the longest time, it had the memorial on the back of it, right? And then I think it was when Obama came into presidency, they changed it from the memorial to the shield or something like that. Correct? Something along those lines. So I'm not saying that when they do a different design on the coin itself or the paper dollar bill itself, there's a huge momentum shift. I'm saying when there is a noticeable like shift in the front of the coin or the currency as drastic as this one to where they change the position of the face of whoever's on the currency itself, that's when I say there's something, you know, oddly connected to that happen, and so is something else happening in history right now.
So my question is, if they flipped Lincoln because it's supposed to freeing the slaves. Why are they now flipping George Washington?
I think, in my opinion,
What was it that they found out George Washington did
Mhm.
that they were like, hey man, we need to flip this guy's face too?
that's a. I think if I'm not mistaken, last time I was here, we were looking at like a little article that where it was like talking about something along those lines. But I want to say, along with the article that we were like reading or whatever, talking about like the change of position for George Washington's face.
Yeah.
I want to say or add to it that maybe it's not something that they found on him necessarily, but maybe it's like a hint. It's like a telltale.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we letting y'all know in advance, but we letting y'all know like under your noses. Whether you see it or not, or whether you guys notice it or not, that's completely up to you. We're giving you a hint of like what's to come. And if Washington was facing the other way, all right, before this year, everything was fine and dandy, right? Everything was okay in the world, right? All was well with the world up until 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now, again, in my opinion, I'm not saying this to be as gospel and nothing like that, but in my opinion, the fact that we're officially said by the government itself, we're actually entering the new world order, right? This is where they're letting us know, like, this is the way things are heading towards. So Washington was facing one way up until this year. This year forward, there's a momentum shift going on in the world historically. You know, it's like looking away from freedom. Ooh,
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 that was good.
that was that was deep, man. I cut myself in the chest.
That was a nice penny for your thought there.
I like that. I like that. That's my 2 cents right there. No, but in all seriousness, again, I don't want to sound redundant or like a broken record. I'm not saying to go out and say, hey, JDQ saying that because every time there's a shift of face on the currency, something crazy about to happen. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's a crazy coincidence that that's the case right now. That's all I'm saying. I'm just putting that out there. Kiko, you want to add something to that, man?
I'm learning a few new things about these coins.
So
I don't really pay attention to it like that.
So let's go back to the penny, right?
Go ahead, Carvel. Tell them the story.
Yeah, Carvel, tell them the story, man.
Let's go back to the penny. So you mean to tell me that up until 1909 there was an Indian on the penny?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, right?
That is correct.
Do we know what Indian it was?
Probably Geronimo. I don't know.
I have never, as much as of a collector I am, I've never looked into that. I've never bothered to look into that, even though it's a very good question.
I mean,
But listen,
I'm gonna Google it.
there's billions and trillions of things to learn.
Yeah.
Good luck learning all of it. I know everything though because I'm the smartest man alive.
Oh my goodness! But it would be good to know just for the fun of just knowing it. You know what I'm saying? Because we know everybody else face on the coin. Why can't we know the Indian man's name
Yeah,
if he had one? What the hell?
I just find it weird that they were like trading that type of coin.
Yeah.
For barter, like business.
Yeah, and again, we're talking about times where gunmen, Indians and cowboys, all this other stuff going on. Okay, because we still talking about 1800s. Okay,
right.
So that was still going on. Why on God's earth would you have, like you just said, an Indian's face on a coin? So in other words, it's gonna be like a cancel moment at some point. Like someone's gonna bring it up, and it's not gonna be me. They're gonna be like, "How on God's earth do y'all had Indian man's face on a penny for that long? For what reason?"
Yeah. So up until 1909, we don't even know if it was an Indian man.
You're right.
That could have been an Indian lady. I mean, if it was me, I'd put it on a quarter.
That looks like Columbus.
Possibly.
I'm joking.
But you don't think it's messed up that they took an Indian off a penny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and put a white man.
Put a white man. Man, they just erasing all the Indians. They're going after the Washington Redskins.
How dare you play funny, man? How dare I don't even know, man?
They don't know when to stop.
Going after the Washington Redskins. The Kansas City Chiefs. They just trying to erase Indians.
Oh my goodness.
From the United States.
Right? Well, that's dumb. You can't erase history. And you can't erase a nation.
I mean, the only reason why I brought this up to begin with is because up until now, I have not seen anybody on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, Twitter, talk about. Maybe they have. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I haven't seen it. Maybe I haven't caught it yet. But to my knowledge, I have not seen anyone bring this up and try to break it down the way we have tonight.
I'm sure somebody. What? I'm sure some YouTuber did it. You know what information's out there?
Please tell me YouTube did it for you.
Oh, man. We the last one on earth talking about this thing.
Probably. But I hadn't seen anybody else. Is all I'm trying to say. Okay.
It's on Reddit. I mean, Reddit.
Those people
posted.
Reddit be keeping up
2 months ago. 2 months ago.
Of course. That would make sense.
This guy said his hair looks weird.
Great observation, Bob.
That must have been a message from that rapper's name. Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh my God.
Got weird hair, man.
Great observation, pal. Yeah. No. Wow. Does anybody else say anything else in that comment section? Does anyone bring what I brought up?
I'm scrolling through.
You see, and this is what I'm saying. The average person, okay, like you and me and Jay, does not take the time.
Who tell you I'm average, man?
No, but it's true. It's true. We don't take the time to look at these things, and then lo and behold, we've been given like a telltale, and here we are like a bunch of retards.
I'm gonna tell you this right here, right now. I don't use the coins to buy things.
And I apologize if that offends somebody, but I'm just saying,
Why would it offend anybody?
Listen, they sensitive people out here.
Oh,
okay?
man, you so sensitive.
This generation's butthurt all the time.
Man, you
I
so
seen
sensitive. You so sensitive.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's weird.
What's weird? Your head?
No, just they flipped his face, and we all know. Well, at least the rumor is that Lincoln's face is flipped because he freed the slaves.
Right.
So why are we now all of a sudden flipping George Bob?
I don't know that shit.
I kind of like that saying, we're turning our back on freedom.
Freedom?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
What is that?
Supposed freedom.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Freedom of thought and freedom of speech.
There's no more.
I mean, what do you mean?
It's been no more.
No.
Nigga, you get canceled. I might get canceled for saying what I said.
Every time they talk about canceling Kanye West, did Kanye West get canceled?
No.
Like,
but okay, hold on.
Like, these people that talk about, first off, if I don't like your company, I'm not buying anything from your company.
I agree with that. I agree 1,000% with
that. But to get on the damn thing and be like, hey, everybody, we got to boycott, let's look at Will Smith. Everybody boycotting Will Smith for a slap.
Right.
Do I agree it's the dumbest shit ever? Yes, he should have controlled himself, went to the back and like, hey, man, let me talk about my... Yes, but I thought they were cool.
Right.
I'm not trying to get into this whole thing with Will Smith.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is that people, we're all mistake makers, number one. Ain't nobody walking around here perfect. Right? So, but for someone to try to convince you to boycott and do all this stuff, you need to have your own head on your shoulders and think for yourself.
That's pretty retarded, though.
Yeah.
It's like they know that the average American is so dumb that they'll just follow along with the crowd.
I think it's because some of them are just too busy to be even giving a shit.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I don't give a shit.
Right.
You can't convince me about nothing anyways.
Right.
Unless I look into it and then I say to myself, okay, or oh no way. You know, like can't nobody really tell you nothing, man.
Jay just said something right now I want to expand on for just for a second. Now, you said something about going along with the crowd, right?
Yep.
My man, this is another thought right here, okay? What if that's the other point to the change of the face angle, all right? What if they're telling us you've got no choice but to turn around and go with the crowd?
Oh, that's going to happen.
And we are the crowd, the government talking. What if that's the point right there? What if that's the underlying background?
You know, at the end of the day, them dudes in government are gonna do whatever they want.
True.
They
They've set in high positions. They're the ones who chased it. We didn't sit here chasing their positions.
They control the information that is dropped into our lap, and then it's up to us to shift through it if we have time during our busy 40-hour week schedule to shift through it and see what's real and what's not real. And then, like,
by the time
let's say 99.9% of the population just listens to whatever the media says and goes with it and just regurgitates whatever it is they say, So
that's just how it is. If you look at that, you ever seen that video compilations of the media people reading the same message?
Oh yeah.
That alone lets you know the programming.
Yep.
And okay, not to make this, I promise you, I'm not going to preach. However, all right, now that we stated something that we stated, I do want to swiftly bring up a Bible verse. Okay, if y'all allow me to, just for a second. All right, is that cool, Jay? Just for a second.
How dare you bring up biblical scripture into my brain, man?
Listen, man, I'm not. I will opinion on this. However, I've got a powerful word for the people watching this stream right now. Check it out.
Right.
So we talking about going along with the world, right, and just like following the crowd, right, and how possibly that might be what the government is trying to tell us, right. However, in the Bible, okay, book of Romans chapter 12, it says, "Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Now, that is just telling us that no matter how much they try to redirect us into what they want us to do, we must not conform. We must not give in. All right?
That's true.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, the traditions come in different shapes and forms. I'm talking about rituals, people doing weird stuff in the church that they bring in from the outside world. Like, it's kind of difficult. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's difficult to deceive me because at one point I was, deceived. I woke up and realized a lot of stuff. Then your mind expands and you're transformed, and it just keeps going from here. Like from the point that you found God.
Right.
From that point on, unless you just, slow and you're like, I rebuke, you turn away, which a lot of people turn away.
Correct.
Well, I feel the seed right now.
Come on up there, Jay.
I was told Jay that he was coming on to, talk about some quarters of pennies. Y'all don't even know what we're talking about the Bible right now. I'm just saying.
It was the Lord. It was the Lord who sent me.
I was hoping to give you all words, man.
Anyway.
True. All right, so before we wrap things up, because this was a beautiful night tonight.
Not really, man.
It was pretty wonderful. It was pretty sexy.
It could have been better.
However, if you're watching right now, just do me a huge favor. Well, do us a huge favor, all right? If you have not liked the video up until now, what the hell are you waiting for? Like the video, all right? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Follow us on social media, all right? Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. The links are around me as we speak, all right? So do me that solid, all right? And, yeah, we're going to catch you guys
I think you should leave and don't come back. can't hear me. Don't get me started.
We'll see y'all next time on the next Vision I View. Peace.